Tusind tak. And Hilsen fra California. And vi elsker Denmark. And that's all the Danish I know.
Det alt det dansk, som Dirk han kender.
So my friend Katrina is translating for me.
Ja, jeg har lovet at oversætte.
My name is Dirk DeMonte, and this is my wife Carol, and we direct the Starfire Singers.
Jeg hedder Dirk DeMonte, og det dernede det er min kone Carol, og sammen der dirigerer vi Starfire Singers.
We are so happy to be with you tonight. We thank you so much for having us on the last night of your camp.
Vi er utrolig glade for at være her, og vi takker jer mange gange, fordi at vi må være her på jeres sidste aften på missionsstævnet.
These guys got in last night about midnight when they finally got settled in, so they're a little bleary-eyed, but they're very excited to be with you tonight.
Alle sangerne de kom ind i går aftes omkring midnat, så de er alle sammen rigtig godt trætte, men de glæder sig rigtig meget til at optræde for jer.
Our show, The Studio, is about a group of people with many different interests and many different gifts who come together to share those gifts and those interests.
Showet The Studio handler om en gruppe unge mennesker, der samles, som alle sammen har forskellige interesser og forskellige gaver og talenter, og de samles så for at dele de her ting med hinanden.
We believe that we are all called by God to share the different gifts that we've been given with all of creation.
Vi tror på, at vi alle sammen er kaldt fra Gud til at dele vores gaver med andre.
That was short. And so we come before you to share the gifts that we've been given, to mix them with the gifts that you've been given.
Så vi kommer her for at vise jer de gaver, som vi er blevet givet, og for at dele dem sammen med jer, og de gaver, som I er blevet givet.
God calls all of us to be a part of God's creation, no matter what language we speak, no matter where we're from.
Gud kalder os alle sammen til at blive en del af hans skaberværk, ligegyldigt hvad sprog vi snakker eller hvor vi kommer fra.
We really do believe that we might not speak the same language with words, but we speak the same language with our heart, and that is that we share God's love, and we are eager to share God's love with all the world.
Vi tror på, at selvom vi ikke snakker det samme sprog med ordene, så snakker vi det samme sprog i vores hjerter, og det er det sprog fra Gud.
So, what?
I didn't get the last
Oh, wow. Share it with all the world.
Og det er det hele verden.
She expects me to remember what I just said. And I don't know. I want to just say a special thank you to all of you at the camp, but especially to Katrina and to her mother Karen and her sister Anna.
Han vil gerne give en speciel tak til jer alle sammen her, og også til min mor og min kære søster og jeg.
I met Karen when I was their age.
Han mødte Karin, dengang han var på vores alder.
And to me, our friendship is what this is all about, is that we have a friendship that spans years and spans cultures.
Og for Dirk, der er det venskab, at det går over mange år, og det går over forskellige kulturer, og det er det hele handler om.
And that's why we're here. We're here to build friendship with you, to celebrate God's love.
Og det er derfor, vi er her. Det er for at bygge venskaber med jer, og for at fejre Guds kærlighed.
And so we welcome you to the studio.
Så vi velkommer jer alle sammen til The Studio.
There was anything else.
Anything.
In the beginning, there was nothing. God created the heavens and the earth, all you see and all you don't see.
Earth was a soup of nothingness. a bottomless emptiness, and inky blackness.
God's Spirit breathed like a bird of the watery abyss.
And then, God spoke.
God spoke, and then creation began to unfurl, and it hasn't stopped yet. Tonight, this very night, right here in this place, it continues.
Hey Becca, are you ready for another summer of new creations and surprises here in our studio?
I sure am, and just wait until they all hear about this.
Oh yes, we've never had a commission quite like this one.
That's for sure. It's gonna take all of us working together like never before.
How about we tell the resident artists about it today, and then we can bring in the community and tell them about it later.
Sounds great! It's going to be an amazing day.
Come on, it's another day, it's gonna be okay, so don't delay, get swept away in the chance of today. Join me in creation songs, sing all day long, you can't go wrong, we all belong to the joy of today. It's another day, brand new, it's a chance to change our view, it's a time for us to do the art of life and love. It's another day, fresh start, time to make our lives our art, time we should do our part, and live this day straight from the heart. It's another day, 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 it's another day.
Okay, gather round everybody. We've got some exciting news.
Don't worry, you can get back to what you're doing in a minute. You're going to want to hear this news because it involves all of you.
Well, don't keep us in the dark any longer. Spill it. What's the news?
Okay. We've been given a commission. A big one.
Well, what do you mean we?
Us, the studio, all of us.
How can all of us get a commission? What's it for?
Well, it's for all of us. A collaboration.
But what art form does it call for?
Yeah, it can't possibly involve all of us. I'm a dancer, she's a potter. What could we possibly create together?
Exactly.
Well, that's going to be part of the challenge, but trust us, it will definitely need to include all of you.
Well, what's the commission?
Be patient, we'll get to that. First though, we're going to need even more artists to accomplish this.
What? More artists? You've got to be joking.
It's crowded enough as it is.
Listen, guys, relax. We know what we're doing. We're about to start our summer classes anyways. We could use those students.
Students? Working on a major commission? What are you talking about?
We're gonna have enough trouble figuring things out between us without adding amateurs to the mix. I thought you said this was a big commission. You know, a big deal.
It is.
Well, I'm sure whoever wrote the commission isn't expecting beginners to do it.
Well, no, not just beginners. That's why we need you guys to lead the way.
But you get hundreds of students here when summer classes start, and most of them don't even want to be here anyways.
Stop worrying. This is going to be an amazing experience. We just need to get all the artists together, and then we'll explain everything. For now, let's just wait for the new students to get here.
Well, they'll be here soon. It's the first day of summer classes.
The best day of the year, when all of the artists and the budding artists and the undiscovered artists come together in our studio. Come in, calling all artists. It's time for classes to begin. Calling all painters and sculptors and poets and those who don't the art, the creative it all. Calling all actors and writers and singers, whatever you bring is how you answer the call. You don't need to know all the finest technique. A willing spirit is all that we seek. You don't need to be an expert in
missing you. Calling all artists, come and join the fun. Calling all artists, welcome everyone. Calling all, calling all, calling all, calling all. Calling all, calling all, calling all, calling all. Calling all, calling all, calling all, calling all.
Wonderful! Welcome all of you. I'm Becca, this is Nadine, and this is our studio. It is a place for all kinds of artists, with every level of skill. It is a place where we can create together. We're gonna have an amazing time together. You are all part of a very special summer session here at our studio. But before you go off into your art groups, we'd like to tell you about a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that we've been given. We've just received a commission, a very important commission. It's going to require all of us working together to create something incredible. Each of you will do this in your art groups, the ceramic students, the painting students, the actors. You get the idea. So to begin with, let's get into those groups, depending on which area you signed up for.
But before we go any further, let me introduce our teaching assistants to you. First, we have Chris, Katie, and Chris. They'll be working with all you singers and other musicians.
Hey, everyone signed up for the music track. Come over here with me.
Alright, next we have Kat and Jenny working with all you dancers, and Erica, Jessica, and Alan working with all you actors.
Hi guys, let's have the dancers go over there and the actors stay over here.
Alright, over here we have Chase, Kristen, and Chelsea. They'll be working with all you painters. And over on this side, we have Trevor, Scott, and Julia. They'll be working with all you potters. We also have Emma and Tara working with you jewelers. And finally, for everyone who's into video film, you guys can go with Jeff, Katie, and Devin. Alright, everyone find your groups.
Look at these guys. I think we're in big trouble.
No kidding. I wonder how many of my group has ever even seen a play, let alone read a script or delivered a line.
I can't wait to see what they do with a lump of clay on a wheel.
Alright, now that you're in your groups, I suggest you guys get to know each other a little better, so then we can get started on our commission.
Hey Teach, I got some bad news for you. I've never done this before in my life. There's no way I can help you with this commission project you've got going.
Hey, me either. This wasn't my idea, and I don't even want to be here.
Yeah, count me out too.
Well, maybe we can all mix the paints, or run copies or something.
Don't be such a kiss-up. I didn't come here to be someone else's gopher.
Hey, can you go refill this for me?
Sure, I guess.
Okay, hang on. Nobody's going to be anybody else's gopher. Every single one of you will have a part in creating this work. And don't worry if you think you don't know how to do it right. We'll be learning together. Nobody will be left out, and everyone has something to offer.
Something to offer? Yeah, right. I could offer you my parents who are making me do this. Maybe they can help you create.
Becca, I just don't see how this is gonna work.
Relax, Jeff. It will work. Now first, each group needs one of these. This will be the medium for your work. Your assignment is to tell your story using your art form and represent it on your board.
Hang on. Tell your story? Tell whose story? There's a bunch of us in each group.
Exactly. You'll have to share your stories first, and then figure out how to tell those stories collectively, and then figure out how to represent those stories on your boards.
I'm a singer. How do I put something on a board? Yeah, how about as actors? Are we supposed to stand on the board and recite a soliloquy?
You guys, we can figure it out. We just have to present our art forms. I'm more worried how we're going to show all these stories in one piece.
Well, that's the challenge, but great art always tells a story. There, that's your first lesson for our summer session. Art always tells a story.
Dates and times and places also come. at his body twist so the rock can be thrown. Look at his hands tightening as he holds the stone. Look at his fierce determination to claim victory as his own. Look at the face. The story is in the face.
The Pieta by Michelangelo, 1498. Look at the form of Christ lying across her knees. Look at the flowing cloth of unsurpassed beauty. Look at the Virgin's eyes aching to set her son free. Look at her face. The story is in the face. Art offers us a storyline through color and through shape, through sculpting and through drawing lines. The artist can create an image and a story where truth reveals its face about the human spirit living fully in this place.
Tell me the human story. Show me the human face. Tell me the human story. Show me the human face. The story's in the face.
The 3rd of May by Goya, 1814. Look at the faceless monster of the firing squad. Look at the church in the distance, making the foreground seem odd. Look at the victim in light who's searching for God. Look at his face. The story's in the face. The Return of the Prodigal Son by Rembrandt, 1669. Look at the parable of Christ, seen in the frame. Look at the prodigal seek redemption from his shame. Look at the father release his long-held pain. Look at his face. The story's in the face.
Tell me the human story. Show me the human face. Tell me the human story. Show me the human face. The story's in the
commission will unfold.
Oh, come on. You don't really expect us to produce the next David or Pieta, do you?
Yeah, no offense, but I'm looking around here and I don't think I'm seeing the next Michelangelo or Rembrandt.
Exactly. It's one thing to have these virtuoso artists depicting mythic characters and stories, but we're just hacks with boring everyday stories to tell.
Listen, we'll never know until we give it a try.
Okay, so who wants to start? Who's got a story to tell?
Oh, come on, you guys. This is stupid. I'm a little old for bedtime stories.
Really? Hey, Bree, what's your story?
Oh, well, I'm so glad you asked me. Well, once upon a time, I was born
Then I lived for a while, and someday I'll die. The end.
Wow, fascinating. Can you paint that in a picture for me?
Ha ha, very funny. But come on, guys, somebody must have a story to tell.
What could we possibly tell to be interesting to anyone else?
Yeah, so far it's been a pretty boring average life. Who wants that displayed for all the world to see?
Yeah, my life bores me and I'm in it. Telling about it will put everyone to sleep.
The interesting stuff is nobody's business anyway.
Listen, you guys, we've all got a story to tell. I'll start. Picture it this way.
Life so differently?
No kidding. You guys mentioned family and conjure up an image of mom and dad and a little brother and sister and a dog and apple pie and middle America. That's just not my experience. When I hear family, I hear yelling and screaming and crying, and all I want to do is run away.
Cool. Back to your story.
That's what we're supposed to be doing.
Cool. Cool? There's nothing cool about it, and I sure don't want to memorialize it for all time in some big mural. I want to forget about it.
I feel you. There's not much about my life I want to glorify and celebrate.
Well, at least you haven't been discriminated against your whole life. Try dealing with that.
My story is that not a single one of you has spoken to me since we moved here. It's been 3 months. Who can relate to that?
My story is that my dad has been looking for work for 1.5 years, and we barely have enough for groceries. Then I see all of you with your new iPhones and designer clothes and all your new cars. You have no idea what I'm going through.
Like I said, this is stupid. No one can possibly understand someone else's story. How could we?
My parents took Dolores back when I was 3. My dad didn't care when my mom made me. How could you think you could possibly understand? We moved 6 times before I reached my teens. The fight went on, I was caught in between. How could you think you could possibly understand? The reality is different from what's on the screen. So much of life's better left unseen. It never unfolds exactly as planned. So how could you think you could possibly understand?
We're on the way, I lost my drive with my will. I can't find my dreams and I can't see my skill. How could you think you could possibly understand? I'm stuck in society's endless rat race. Yeah, everyone expects a smile on my face. How could you think you could possibly understand?
The reality is different from what's on the screen. So much of life's better left unseen. It never unfolds exactly as planned. So how could you think you could possibly understand?
Great? What are you talking about? We've just decided that we can't possibly understand each other's stories.
Yeah, all we've done so far is realize how different everyone's story is.
Well, that's what I mean. You're doing great.
You mean this is what we're supposed to be doing?
Well, it's a start. You're sharing and you're listening. The two most important elements of storytelling.
Okay, I get that. But how are we supposed to represent what we've been sharing and hearing?
Yeah, I think we have a little more listening to do before we're ready to put it on the board.
Yeah, we still have a lot of people to hear from.
Tara, I had no idea you were so unhappy. You always seem so bubbly.
I always thought I had to keep a happy facade. Otherwise, it just fell apart all the time.
Well, I'm glad you shared. I can be here for you if you need a friend.
Thanks, I do.
Robert, I'm sorry I never talked to you. You just seem like you always wanted to be alone.
I just didn't know how to break into your group.
My group? I didn't even know I had a group. Most of the time I feel pretty left out too.
Really?
Really.
Ooh, I'm getting that warm and fuzzy feeling again. Let's all go on Oprah and cry together.
Why are you always so cynical?
Because this is so contrived. These good feelings will last about as long as this class. Then it's back to the way things have always been.
Exactly. In case you haven't noticed, nobody's paying attention to anybody's stories out there in the world.
Maybe that's the problem.
Well, of course that's the problem, but we can't even listen to each other here in the studio, and we're all pretty much the same.
It's human nature to resort to competition and self-defense. It's just the way of the world.
But look how quickly we started to come together, just by sharing a few stories. Maybe it all starts here.
We'll see.
I still don't see how this is going to work. How do we get all of these stories and all of these feelings into one work of art? I just don't see how we're going to do it.
I think you still have some sharing and listening to do. Why don't you guys head off to your studio rooms and keep the sharing going and see what you come up with. Just remember, you're doing great.
I feel like I know you guys all a lot better than when we started. Do you think we're ready to get going on a piece?
Sure, what are we gonna do?
What if we each made a small ceramic representation of what we shared and then attach it to the board?
Hey, you guys, I was...
That'd be cool. Then we could put something around the whole thing.
Like a border! I love borders.
Yeah, a border. That would be beautiful.
But hey, you guys...
We could raccoonify the border, and then for each of our individual pieces, we could place on the
Hey, you guys!
Should any of us be using the wheel, or are we just pitch-potting? You guys!
Oh yeah, what is it?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I've been trying to make a tree out of this lump of clay for 45 minutes, and it looks more like a snake eating a porcupine.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I can't do this!
I'm really excited about this. I can just see how each of our stories will translate into the canvas.
Canvas?
Well, okay, wood.
Let's make our board a big mural. Each of us can paint a section of their own stories.
Yeah,
We can make it unified with a border, or some common themes throughout.
Yeah,
To bring it together so while showing the distinct and separate stories of each of us, it is at the same time a cohesive work that shows thematic unity.
Yeah, but
Have you seen some of the reliefs and murals from the temples at Ephesus? It was such an important early church with such amazing artwork. We can model our section after some of those pieces.
yeah, but how
Then,
many?
we can bring them all together for something in the center that represents all of us.
Yeah, but how?
Maybe in the center we can tie in some of the timeless pieces from mythology, like Apollo, the god of truth and music, or Bacchus, the god of wine and merriment.
Yeah,
We
but
can even do watercolors, oils, maybe even some pen and ink.
yeah, but how?
Let's get going. Each of us can have about a 4x4 space for our pictures.
Yeah, but how am I gonna do that? I flunked painting in kindergarten.
What? How do you flunk painting?
Well, I just kept painting and painting, trying to get it just right, until every time I ended up with a huge blob that was blackish, brownish.
Okay, I get it. Listen, just paint what you feel.
I'm trying to.
Listen, just mold what you feel.
I'm trying to, but
Everything I make is a catastrophe.
Where two or three are gathered, all stepping up for fame, I find myself thinking this really is a shame that some have talent, some do not. With dance and brush and Photoshop, but might they really find their art if the risk is taken from the start?
us. Everybody else has got to use papyrus. They keep handing us all this crazy stuff, like pictures with a copy of Ephesus and Bacchus. Hey, look, it's all of us. I really think that this will be disastrous. I'm not an artist, I feel quite flush. All the creations in my mind are really outrageous. Ooh, everything I make is somehow to our story.
Waiting are when you ain't great, means you have to compensate for all the things that you can make. And all you feel is frustrated. Things you throw in through the night, without their lines and oversight. It's that use of the colors right. Why not feeling uptight? They say that God don't make no junk. God don't make no junk. God don't make no junk.
But I sure do.
So I say, why do I make junk? Why do I make junk? Why do I make junk? Please God shine through.
Alright, jewelers, looks like we've got our work cut out for us. What can we make in jewelry that will help us tell our stories?
How does jewelry tell a story?
Yeah, jewelry is just little accessories people wear to look fancy.
Maya, that is so not true. Open your mind. Jewelry is an important expression of a person's character.
Yeah, some people like small, simple, and understated.
And some people like big, gaudy, and ostentatious.
We've actually learned a great deal about entire civilizations just by studying the types of jewelry they made and what it was used for.
Okay, but still, how am I going to tell my story through some beads and string?
Or my story through some hoops and bangles.
Aren't you paying attention? It's not just beads and strings and hoops and bangles.
Whatever. Maybe I can be like B. Diddy, make some major bling. Maybe that'll tell my story.
How about we focus on the stories we made together and then try to make it as one piece?
Why just one piece?
Why don't we each make something and then tie them all together when we're done?
We can make a giant charm bracelet, and each of the charms can be individual stories.
Charm bracelet? I hope you're kidding.
You are kidding, aren't you?
Artists. It's not as important what we make as what represents the stories that we're sharing with each other. So why don't we brainstorm one more time, see if any images pop into our heads. While you're thinking, I'm going to go grab some supplies. Anybody need anything?
Ooh, can you grab me a latte? Yeah, get me a serious cup of something.
Okay, so we're agreed. We'll write a one-act play, incorporate each of our stories, with each of us playing ourselves.
Then we'll stage the production and take lots of pictures. Then we can put those pictures
Plus the script.
on our board representing our stories come to life.
Sounds good. But in addition to me playing myself, I'll need many of you to play supporting roles in my story.
Supporting roles?
Exactly. My story is really quite gripping and requires so...
We're not gonna have time for that.
Yeah, because my story is going to take some time to unfold. It's really quite amazing. Having been born overseas and coming here on a cargo ship, I'll need special effects, some lighting.
What you need is a good editor. You're a legend in your own mind. If we really want people to be moved by this production, what we need is a central character.
A central character? You think this production needs a central character?
Yeah.
And who would that be?
Yeah, who around here can pull off the role of a central character?
Well, I was thinking... me. My story is so unique, yet it is really the story of every man, woman, with a universal theme of survival and triumph.
Oh, brother! Sister, I don't think this stage is big enough for you, us, and your ego.
I love that idea, Chris. We'll put our stories to song, then record a CD, and then take and put the actual CD, plus all the sheet music, and put it on our board. Cool.
Awesome. When do we audition?
Audition?
For the solos.
Who said anything about solos?
Yeah, I never heard anything about solos or CDs or auditions or anything.
Well, of course there's gonna be solos on it.
And you think you're gonna get one?
Not one. Probably like 3 or 4.
Hey, come on, man. What happened to check your ego at the door?
Hey, it's not about ego. I just have an angelic gift that needs to be shared.
Hey, buddy, I got news for you. A lot of us have gifts that need to be shared.
And I suppose you think you're one of them?
Well, not to brag, but everyone always says I should be on American Idol.
Well, if everyone said it, it must be true.
Hey, you've never even heard me sing.
Yeah, you've never heard her sing one single note.
Thank God for that small miracle.
Wait 1 little minute! What kind of comment was that?
Okay, let's be careful. Remember, it's about listening to each other's stories, not who gets the most solos.
Once you hear my voice, you'll forget about the stories. Let's just have the auditions.
Let's just have the auditions. Then we'll see.
Sung, takes talent and training and heart. Anyone, anywhere can simply sing along, but only an artist makes art. To find nuance and subtlety in every note is a gift that is precious and rare. And since clearly that gift has been given to me, it's one that I'll happily share. So shine the spotlight on me. Gifts for all to see. Please don't crowd my space. Let the audience see my face. Shine a spotlight on me. Our playwright's words that come alive on stage. Drama, expression, and heart. It may look quite easy from the audience seats, but only an artist makes art. During comedy, tragedy, pathos, and fear, it's a gift that is precious and rare. And since clearly that gift has been given to me, it is one that I'll happily share. So shine the spotlight on me. I've got gifts for all to see. Please don't crowd my space. Let the audience see my face. Shine a spotlight on me. I have an obligato that I like to sing legato, and when I do, it always brings the house down. When I get to my cadenza, the crowd goes into a frenzy. No one's ever heard a sweeter sound. When you hear my soliloquy, I must say with humility, I guarantee you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll cheer. To move the audience is my goal, it doesn't matter what the floor, the Ibsen, Williams, Stoppard, or Shakespeare. I have an obligato that I like to sing legato, I guarantee you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll cheer. When I get to the audience is my goal, it doesn't matter what the floor, the Ibsen, Williams, Stoppard, or Shakespeare. I have an obligato that I must my cadenza, my cadenza, my cadenza, my cadenza, my cadenza, my cadenza, my cadenza.
Cut!
My cadenza.
Hit it, Dirk! Gold doesn't matter what the floor, the hips, the flips, all burn or shake. So shine the spotlight on me. I got gifts for all to see. Please don't crowd my space. Let the audience see my face. Shine the spotlight on me. Let the audience see my face. Shine the spotlight on me. Let the audience see my face. Shine the spotlight on me.
So, how's it going?
You know, I think it's going okay. They've been working really hard.
Yeah, my group's definitely listening to each other better. And I think I've gotten everyone to share their story.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, it's going really well.
Same goes for our group.
I don't know, we're still kind of struggling.
With what?
Oh, just making space for each other, I guess. I mean, they've listened, well, some of them, but most of us are still jockeying for top position.
They'll work it out.
We're having a tough time.
With what?
I just feel like we're kind of lost. We've shared our stories, but we don't know what to do with them. It's like we're lost in the creation.
Lost in the night, searching for the light. Because the sight, because seeming bright. Let's hold on tight, as creation is divine. I'm lost in creation, and I'm looking for confirmation. And my tools are confirmation of the life with affirmation. From all I've got a temptation, and I'm feeling some trepidation.
My goal is recreation of God's word and not limitation. It's all about participation throughout the generations. Let's make a presentation where we're found in admiration.
Lost in the night, searching for the light. Because the sight, because seeming bright. Let's hold on tight, as creation is divine. I was not found, I was stuck deep in the ground. So let go brought me around, now feeling joy bound. My heart can never die, and my
in the process, in the details, and the differences, it's easy to get lost in the enormity of the task. It's easy to get lost, and in getting lost, to become paralyzed.
Isn't that what's happened to our world?
It sure seems like it. Everyone is so wrapped up in their own story, their own perspective, their own piece of creation. They block everyone else out.
They not only block it out, a lot of them actively prevent others from taking part.
Which is why we're trying to do it a different way.
And yet, even here in our own little studio, people are lost and paralyzed and arguing and blocking.
Yes, and creating and solving and working it out. The biggest thing to realize is that while we have a part in creation and in creating, it's ultimately not up to us.
What do you mean?
Well, from my point of view, there's only one creator. And that creator invites all of us, each of us, to join in the creating. We've been given gifts, and our lives have unfolded in a series of stories. The problems occur when you forget the source of the gifts, and the third of the stories.
The creator?
God. Exactly.
So, are you trying to say that God needs us to help with creation?
Basically, yeah.
Wow, that's totally messed up. No wonder the world is in such disarray.
No kidding. So much for a perfect, all-powerful creator.
Yeah, if God depends on us, he's not really much of a god, is he?
What makes you say that?
Well, like we said, we're lost. We have no idea what we're doing, and everything we touch turns to junk.
Maybe it just depends on how you look at it.
What do you mean?
Well, we see the things we create and are filled with doubt and second guessing, but maybe God sees them as beautiful.
Right. God sees what we make as beautiful? I don't think so.
But God made us more beautiful, so it made us also be beautiful in God's eyes.
I don't buy any of that. God didn't make us. The earth did.
Sure enough, we all started out as amoebas and gradually evolved into what we are today. It has nothing to do with God.
How can you say that? Even if we did evolve over millions of years, what power but God could create a process like that?
It's called science. Everything can be explained.
Everything?
Pretty much. Everything's a simple chemical reaction of some sort or another.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, I'm not sure I do either. We're here in an art studio making beautiful works of art, and you're saying this can all be explained by chemistry.
Sure. Paints, clay, video, music, jewelry, you name it.
Yeah, it all boils down to science, mainly chemistry with a bit of physics thrown in.
Exactly. It can all be explained. You don't need God to explain it.
Art and all things art depicts are simply forces of nature. Mountains, sunsets, seascapes, even love. They all have rational explanations.
But that doesn't explain why they exist or how they affect us. That's something you can't even explain.
Exactly. We can explain all the elements of creation, but nothing can explain the wonder of it.
Atmosphere
something inexplicable about life, living, loving, and beauty.
Maybe, but even if that's all true, it still seems like we've made a pretty huge mess out of creation.
Yeah, and if we keep messing things up so badly, doesn't it mean that God really isn't such a good creator?
Well, hardly. It means that God is an infinitely patient creator and an infinitely creative creator.
Yeah, but God created this beautiful and perfect universe, and from the second humans became humans, we've been slowly destroying it.
No kidding. Our history isn't exactly stellar.
Well, that's because the creation continues. Just as your groups are still trying to figure it out, we're all still trying to figure it out.
But figuring it out is ridiculously complicated.
And it keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
Well, you see, that's the thing. It's really not that complicated at all. At its core, it's actually very simple.
Masterpiece is not complete. Unfold the gifts to guide you and define your life as one great belief. We all are called to listen and respect. We all are shown the ways to learn. Flames is like this sacred place, creating space for love to burn. It's so simple now. It's so simple now. It's so simple now. Simple. Gather up the jewels found in this place to help us all create as one. Let mystery weave a tapestry of care until these walls cry out, we're done. Let us bring it out into let love seek out the darkest place, and then be born wings to soar beyond, letting love be our embrace. Simple, simple, simple now, and love is here. Simple now, feel
dance so much. It's so simple.
It looks really hard to me.
It's a different kind of simple.
Yeah, it's uncomplicated. It's about getting to the core of meaning.
How does dance do that?
Well, by taking the words out, we're able to express the deeper meaning.
It becomes an expression of our entire bodies.
By expressing the meaning physically, we come to a deeper understanding of that meaning, how it affects us, and how we connect with it.
The dancers and a couple of friends from other groups have come up with our stories expression. We call it Creation Found. Wonderful. Let's see it.
Neither are we.
That's okay. It's never finished. Let's just see where we are at this moment, in this place.
Our piece has silhouettes of each member of our group, cut out of metal and decorated with symbols of each of our stories.
The music group put a CD of some of our favorite music, a piece of music that we sang together, and a few other things that represent the way music has helped us share our stories throughout the years.
We put a picture on ours that represents the way video shows our creativity and helps the world see our story come to life.
The ceramics group put an Incan cross, which represents creation and the way all parts are interconnected. We place the cross over an eternity spiral. To us, this represents the same where stories connect.
We put 4 playwrights who have told the human stories over the centuries. Underneath it, we put our own scripts, which tell our own unique stories.
The dancers made a silhouette of a dancer and mounted it on a galaxy to represent the ways the dance connects us and our stories with all of creation.
The painting group thought about a lot of different possibilities. We finally settled on a simple depiction of the Tree of Life. To us, it symbolizes the human family and the life and the roots that connect us all.
And in the center, a plate,
symbolizing the stories, the love, and the life that we all share.
Wow. Would you look at that? Unbelievable. You've done a spectacular job.
Is it right?
It's not just right, it's perfect.
But is it what the patron asked for?
Yeah, is he or she or whoever gonna like it?
Oh, they're going to love it.
Who is? Who commissioned this?
Yeah, and what was the commission anyway?
Are you gonna read it to us?
Sure, why not? Here you go, Claire. Why don't you read it?
The Great Commission is the Great Commandment.
That's it? Who's it from?
It's not signed. There's no address on the envelope either.
What the heck does that mean?
Well, have you guys ever heard of the Great Commission?
Isn't that where Jesus tells his disciples to go and convert everyone?
Not exactly. It's the word that Jesus leaves with his disciples. It's different in Matthew, Luke, John, and Acts. Essentially, though, Jesus tells his disciples, and really tells us, to share the message, the story, with the whole world.
And this says the Great Commission is the Great Commandment.
And what is the Great Commandment?
Well, when Jesus was asked what is the greatest commandment, he said, love God with all that you are, heart, soul, and mind. And it doesn't stop there. He said the next greatest commandment is much like it. Love your neighbor as yourself.
And he said that everything else is dependent on those two.
So it's all about love?
Exactly. That's the commandment. That's the commission. That's what God is calling us to do.
People how to love.
God's story. It's a message Jesus kept trying to tell us through his own stories, through his own teachings, even with his own life.
And the message is love God with all you got, and love your neighbor as you love yourself?
Exactly. Like you said, everything else is subject to that simple formula. Jesus gave everything trying to help us understand that.
So that's what this commission is all about. That's the point of this creation, show our love for God and for each other
And for ourselves.
I think that's the point of all creation. God's creation is an unending gift of love, and it doesn't stop there. God loves us so much that we are invited to join in the creation with God.
That's pretty amazing.
It's more than just amazing. It's awesome.
And we get to be a part of it.
It is indeed awesome and amazing, and everything else you can think of. And yes, every single one of us gets to be a part of it. God created us to be living, thinking, breathing, creating parts of his own creation. We are created to be creators, and creation is an act of love.
The ultimate act of love.
The ultimate act of love. Jesus did the same thing with his disciples. He invited them to sit at the table with him, even as he was preparing to leave them. They sat at the table with him and joined in the meal with him. And right then and there, he became a part of them, just as he becomes a part of us. And finally, it is at the table where we are made whole.
there's still people that need to be invited to join us.
People like we were, who don't know they have gifts to offer, but that they're a part of this creation.
There are still those who've been turned away from the table.
Whose gifts haven't been noticed.
Or who haven't noticed their gifts.
Exactly. Everyone has gifts given to them by God. Gifts of humanity, gifts of the Spirit.
But when they're excluded because of who they are, what they look like, where they come from, who they were created to be, their gifts and their humanity are not honored.
Honoring creation means keeping a place open for those you've turned away before, or who haven't come to the table and get it all.
I think you've got it. The creation never stops because life itself is always unfolding, always growing, always creating. We can never stop listening, telling, letting our own stories be told, and listening to the stories of everyone at the table. And we can never stop making room at the table. This is a commission that is never finished.
So our work is never done?
Sounds exhausting.
Exhausting? Maybe sometimes. But it's also energizing.
To be a part of creation, a part of God's world unfolding before our eyes, there's nothing more exciting than that.
Nothing more exciting or challenging or confusing or fulfilling or amazing. It is the essence of what life and living are all about. Joining with God to create a world where love is the final word, where everyone's gifts are recognized and everyone's story is told.
That's a pretty tall order.
Well, of course it is, and we haven't perfected it yet in human history. But God is an artist who never gives up, who loves the creation, even in its imperfection, and who knows that it continues to unfold. And it's not too late. It's never too late to join in the creation and sing along with the Creator.
Have you stopped to look around? Have you listened for the sound? Creation is calling and everyone's falling in love with what God's doing here. Can you feel the spark within as He sends the life begin?
And there is nothing more exciting for Dirk and myself to write a musical about creation and to bring to life what God is calling us to do, to be creators. But we have only done our part. If you leave this place to go out and speak of the Great Commission and the Great Commandment to this world around us, and we certainly know that that call to love one another, to love God, and to love self is so important in this world. So we ask you tonight to go take this message beyond these walls, beyond this conference here, and with the inspiration that you found here this week, that you go out and move in the world to be the voice piece of God. Thank you for coming to the studio tonight. Amen. We sing this when we have the alumni with us. And Katrina is one of those. So come join us.